not everybody is going to be open and accepting to you and to you expressing yourself authentically and loudly. But you should never take this personally, because what a lot of people will do is judge others, and everyone's guilty of this. We're only human. But judgment just comes from our own insecurities and from our own shortcomings. So if you haven't worked on being authentically yourself, on expressing yourself shamelessly, what can happen is that you can see somebody else who does something like that, and that can trigger that insecurity inside of you. And if you don't tame your ego in that moment, then you could believe that this person is doing something wrong, or just this trigger could lead you to really judge this person and label them. And it can also lead to a lot of feelings like jealousy and envy, really not empathizing with the person or trying to understand who they are. And so it's really important who you surround yourself with. And of course, to catch yourself in these moments where you are casting judgment on others. Obviously, I've been guilty of this, and this is a completely normal human thing. But I think it's just important to reel ourselves back in those moments of judging. There's this beautiful quote that says that all judgment is a confession. So every time that you judge someone for doing something or being a certain way, you are essentially just confessing a part of you that you haven't come to terms with, that you haven't accepted, and so you decide that you want to judge that in someone else. You might see somebody who's not doing well financially and judge them. That's probably coming from your own insecurities about money. You might see somebody and say that you don't think they're attractive, and judge them or treat them differently, and that would be coming from your own insecurities about the way that you look. And so there's so many different facets and avenues in your life where this insecurity can creep in, and it will cause you to treat others differently. And I know I'm talking a lot about, saying that you are doing this, but obviously this is also other people can do this to you. And I'm just trying to explain, I guess, in the best way that I know how, just this kind of idea of misunderstanding each other, and how that has so much to do with yourself, and looking in the mirror and understanding that there is something within me that I haven't accepted, and that is why I'm not able to see a certain characteristic about somebody and see it in a positive light, right? Because we make the decision to see something in someone. We make the decision to see the glass as half full or half empty. We make the decision to see somebody as beautiful or ugly, or whatever it might be. That's a conscious decision that you make. And so it's important to just kind of stay in tune with your own insecurities and keep building and working on those, and also stop comparing yourself to other people, because the beauty of living in the universe and being a microcosm of this beautiful universe is that you get to experience yourself in so many different shapes and sizes and just different expressions. It's all beautiful because it's all the universe, it's all God, and you can always choose to see the beauty in that, but that will require taming your ego and really catching yourself when your ego is trying to put you in a negative space and saying, no, I don't want to feel this way. And over time, as you start to do this rewiring, it's really going to set in. It's kind of like you have to create this new habit, and they say that having a new habit takes 21 days, I believe. That's one study on it. But it's kind of like, as you start to practice this in your mind of, for example, I would say I used to have opinions about people who like wore a certain item of clothing. Okay, so let's say, I don't even know which one it is, but like I used to maybe have a strong opinion on a certain pattern of clothing. Okay, now what you can do is rewire that belief. You can change that belief, eliminate that belief through rewiring your brain. And essentially, whenever you do encounter this situation, so whenever I do see this pattern of clothing, instead of going to my default of me thinking, oh my gosh, that's hideous, I would consciously make the effort to believe the opposite. And the reason that believing the opposite is the best way to do this rewiring is because of the law of polarity, and that everything has an opposite. And so when you think about a belief is something that has a certain rate of vibration and a frequency. And so essentially any belief is really just a rate of vibration. And when you think about the law of polarity and how everything has its pair of opposites, you can believe something that is, let's say, negative, and then you can also believe, or you can also acknowledge the opposite of that, which is positive. And now negative and positive, we're really just talking about opposites. Technically, all of these universal laws are kind of transcend morality, and God itself transcends morality. But if we're talking about just opposites in general, not that one is better than the other, but just one may benefit you more in life, as in create better, healthier relationships for you, make you feel better inside, raise your vibration, if you will. We hear that all the time. But essentially, if you choose to believe the opposite, as in, I see this pattern of clothing and I believe that it's beautiful, it literally rewires your brain and it raises your vibration, and you'll see differences not only in your body and internally within your essence, but also in your aura and your auric field and your external world, because it will show that vibration, that rate of vibration, that change that you've made to your reality comes from the inside, and it will show. And it's a beautiful thing when you observe somebody really trying to, I guess, improve themselves and transcend these illusions and transcend these lower vibrational emotions of jealousy and envy and hate and fear and all of these things. So I guess you would call this alchemy, and it is a beautiful thing. If you're more interested in this type of thing, I really recommend Narrow Knowledge on YouTube. He's kind of like a mystic that I discovered earlier this year, and I've learned a lot from him. But yeah, I think all that to say that it's important to just be honest with yourself and identify the parts of you that you could improve in terms of your confidence and your ability to act in an authentic way. And doing that will really just change your reality and draw more people in that match your frequency and create a reality for you that is watering the soil of your soul and just really allowing you to live a more purposeful, divine reality and a more fulfilling life. And yeah, that's really what's important in life. I think it's one thing that has helped me a lot in changing some of my beliefs that, you know, I've had that I wasn't proud of, is surrounding myself by new people, like being open to new experiences that allow me to meet new people who show me the things in myself that I could be better in. And these people, I notice, are people who make me feel like I could be even kinder, like I could be even more compassionate than I am right now. And those are the people who are like heaven in a person, and just beauty and authenticity and truth in a person, because they are the embodiment of love, and love is everything. It's literally everything. This reality is love. And so it's honestly been kind of like a marker that I've used in terms of where I'm at in my growth. And of course, the growth never stops, but just like seeing myself change and rewire beliefs and being positively influenced by people around me is really amazing. And I think a really important kind of prerequisite to this is to allow yourself to have new experiences and step into spaces that you wouldn't otherwise step into. And really just set your ego aside, open your heart up to something new, and try not to label things, people, because that's kind of like our default sometimes, especially because of the way we've been raised. But we don't have to do that, and we can come up with our own way of seeing the world that is actually much lighter and brighter and more fun and more divine. So yeah, let me know what your experience has been with rewiring some beliefs. Are there certain beliefs that you feel have been holding you back? I'd love to hear from you. And I love you so much. Thank you for watching another one of my videos. Like this video if you enjoyed my little spiel, and subscribe to the channel for more spirituality and self-mastery content. Bye.